Good morning, doctor. Good morning, my friends. This is my presentation about communication theory. Imagine a world without communication. You have a brilliant idea with you, but don't possess the power of communication. You have a strong desire for something, but can't express your desires. So communication is an essence of life. It is a necessity, and communication is an essential element of teaching. Every interaction between lecturer and the student involves communication of some kind. Um, Next, I will explain my understanding from the 6 parts. First, what is communication theory? Communication theory was proposed by Scudder in the year 1980. It states that all living beings existing on the planet communication, although the way of communication is different. And every living organism communicates to another living organism of his kind through a unique communication method. For example, animals communicate with each other but use different songs. Humans interact with each other with the help of different words, letters, symbols, pictures, or gestures. And the most basic model of communication involves a, a, a sender passing some kind of information or message to a receiver. The second part is the communication theory framework. Uh, the first is mechanistic. The mechanistic viewpoint says that communication is simply the transmission of information from the first part to the second party. And the second is psychological. According to the psychological viewpoint, communication is feelings of the sender which he tries to share with the recipients. And the next is social. The social viewpoint considers communication as a result of interaction between the sender and the receiver. And the next is the systemic. The systemic viewpoint says that communication is actually a new and a different message. And the last one is critical. The critical viewpoint says that communication is simply a way with the help of which an individual expresses his power and authority among other individuals. And the next part is the different types of communication. It includes verbal communication, such as words, speeches, presentations, and non-verbal communication, such as facial expressions, gestures, hand and hair movements, and body postures. And the last one is visual communication, such as signboards, displays, hoardings, banners, and maps. Uh, Communication is divided into normal communication and effective communication. Effective communication need you to speak sensibly, clearly, convey your message in clear words, and effective communication can be challenging, especially as students will will prefer different communication methods. And in the process of effective communication, will produce a variety of barriers. These barriers will lead to misunderstanding of the recipients. So, what are the barriers, uh, such as noise, unorganized thought, wrong interpretations, not understanding the receiver, in ignoring the content, avoiding the listener, not conforming with the recipient, not understanding the mood of the recipient, low pitch and tone, an impatient listener, different culture level, and have image that you are giving a lecture to your students, and outside the classroom are very noisy, and you don't know anything about your student. You don't know your students foundation, your students learning background, uh, and the content you prepared uh, is is so boring. In the process of a lecture, not any eye contact with your students, nor to confirm whether they received your information. So this class must be a bad class. An effective communication plays a key role in both study, teaching, and life. We are not we are not born with the ability to communicate effectively. It takes time and a lot of practice. So how can we improve effective communication? uh, the golden rule to an effective communication in day-to-day scenario is to listen attentively. And the second one is never speak at a noisy place. The third one is speaking clearly and properly is natural to an effective communication. And the last one is always try to understand the mood of the second party before communicating. Um, and there are many communication models or other series available that aim to improve communication. Um, um, the first one I showed there is Borne's ego states of communication. Understanding what my current ego state is and what my students or colleagues' ego states are is important during communication. And the second is the channel weaver's model. When you are not receiving the desired response when communicating, it could be due to a noise element within the communication. And the third is the Johari window model. The Johari window model aims to increase self-awareness and personal development by documenting the different uh, perspectives. Finally, uh, different people have different reactions to different forms of communication. And when we teach, we need to take into account different types of learners: visual, auditory, reader, and try to design our curriculum to include all styles. It's important to listen to your students and achieve two-way communications with our learners is not straightforward. Barriers can often present themselves. It is crucial that a teacher can identify barriers and help learners overcome them. That all. Thank you.